Welcome back to Carolina Ruck Cuddles. Guys, it is 20 degrees outside. The wind is blowing a $1.90. So today, we are walking on stuff because it's way too cold to ride. I was going to ride today and I was like, oh heck no, like I about froze to death. Guys, it is miserable out there. And if you live on the East Coast, you know that humidity makes it so it's so much worse. The moisture in the air, miserable. But today we got a Honda 500. I actually walked to this a couple years ago. I ended up rebuilding the engine. This is the reason I will not rebuild another Honda engine until I can get one and actually try again, because this one, it gave me a headache. I still don't understand. Maybe the guy gave me the wrong gears. I don't know. But it took so long and so many pieces just to get it running, and it was a pain. Anyways, this thing has a really bad tick. So I noticed that one of these bolts, no matter what I did, wouldn't tighten down whenever I took it apart that time. It was like broken. I went to go loosen it up and it broke off. So we got a whole new valve cover. We're going to put it on, and I warranty my watch for a little bit of time. It's been a year and a half. The guy called me like a couple weeks after it did it. Sadly, he took almost a year and a half to bring, and this thing has more than a few issues. This thing had a frozen diff this morning. I think both of them were frozen. It would not move a lick. It might have just been one, but I'm pretty sure it was the real one because I couldn't get it to move. It was so cold. And this right here, guys, look at this. Got that Bluetooth axle there. It's not there. The guy broke it, pulled it out, called it a day. This thing is not in the best shape. But you know what? I do what the customer wants. Personally, I told him even when I rebuilt it last time that it was cheaper just to go ahead and buy another one than it was to rebuild it. But he really wanted to. It might have a sentimental value. But today we're going to show you how to adjust the valves and all that, and how to get to the valve cover. So that way everybody knows how to do it. I just thought, good thing to do. We can stay in the warm, but we won't be freezing our nuts off today. So let's begin. Step one, we're going to take these side covers off and this top cover. Pot rivet. I don't think the screw's in there anymore. I think it broke off. Pot rivet. That screw broke off. Pot rivet. Pot rivet. I think the bottom one's off. And then you just take the gas tank off here. Well, let me pull the pot rivets out right fast. And now you can get to it. You take this cover off, and you can take this one back here off, and you can adjust the valves like that, but it's really hard. I recommend taking the gas tank off. Strap here, and 2 bolts. You can see it, 1 and 2, and the gas tank should come out. And make sure you remove the gas source to it, cut it off, and yeah, you can get right out of the way. Then you can pull this up and get right to everything. We got it off. Oh, that gas tank. So I could not get the sending unit plug out. It's right there. I just can't get my hand in there to get it unplugged. So I just took the 4 bolts off and slowly fed this thing out. It ain't gonna hurt nothing, guys. At least in this case, it's not. Now we can just take this and pop it right up. There you go. Voila, you're to the top of the engine. See how easy that was? Man, that gas smells bad. Maybe that's why it's running so bad. I was wondering why this thing ran like butt. But that gas is, man, maybe it's just me. Maybe it ain't stale. Maybe I'm just getting old. Anyways, now we got to take this off. We don't want to take this one, or this one off, because those just control the valves. And that's what broke last time. One of these just would not tighten up on it. I don't know why. So let's take it off. And just like that, they're all out. Now we can pull this whole piece out. I'm sure one of them's probably not all the way off. Yep, there always that one. That's up, that's up. Voila! We are now out, baby. Which one is it? I think it's this one that's broke. One of them broke. I don't know what's going on here. I wonder if one of these valves is sticking. Because if this doesn't fix it, that means the valve's sticking. Luckily, we have a spare gasket. Yay! Because I ain't been long rebuilding one of these, and after I got done rebuilding it, it needed valves. Well, the kit I had came with a new valve cover gasket, so when I ordered the valve, it also come with a new valve cover gasket. So I was like, I got a couple of those. I got quite a few like random gaskets. I need to find a place to put them so they don't mess up. Anyways, now we gotta clean all this mess up. Okay, we got it nice and clean. As you can see, it has a little bit here and there, but I don't want to go overboard because I'm trying my best to keep the trash out the bottom and not spray more ether than I got to. But we got it good. The next step here is to go ahead and put a new gasket on, which again, you're not going to be doing this. You're going to be doing the valves most likely. Most likely you will not be doing a valve cover like me. So you can just ignore all this. Now a bunch of these are different sizes, so I just literally took them out the old one and shoved them right back here. I already got it nice and cleaned up, and we're ready to go. Be very gentle with these. That's what broke off last time. You can see it. It only comes out a certain way. I was literally loosening it up and it snapped off, and now it's stuck in there. I don't think I can take it out. But anyways, I bought a new one. I screwed it out, and I would buy a new one if it had any issues. And then it started ticking, and I'm thinking this might be the issue. It might not be, but we're gonna try it anyways. Hopefully it's not the valve. I mean, if it is, it ain't the end of the world. It's not too expensive, but I don't feel like having to tear this all down, mainly because this snorkel was a pain to get this L box out the way of. So let's go ahead and put this back together. Now you want to be very gentle with these. That's why I'm using this battery powered ratchet, because they don't take much torque. You want to be very careful because it will snap these off in a heartbeat. Now we can put it top dead center and go ahead and do the valves finally. This is about the hardest spot. You're gonna take this little cover off right here. This little thing right here. It's on the not travel side, the pastoral side. And you can look, and you need to get it top dead center. It's also really good to make it really easy for you to go ahead and take the spark plug out, because with the spark plug in, it turns over a lot harder. This thing feels like it's top dead center. Might be wrong, but we're gonna try it. Got the spark plug out. It looks pretty bad. It's not wet though, so that's good. Now we get I think it's a 5mm, and now we just take this cap off. I'm gonna need both hands for this because I'm gonna have to put it in there and try to keep my knuckle from getting knocked off, because every dang time. Oh wait, nope, it came right off. That's a first. Oh, this is the fourth, boys. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Things are working in my favor, and now everything's gonna go bad because I said that. Don't lose the O-ring. Boop. Now let me go ahead and get a flashlight so we can look in there and get it timed. Now, if you look in there, let's see if I can find a stupid flashlight. You see that T? Yep, you need to have it on the T, guys. That's top dead center. Make sure it's the T, not the F. There's an F right before the T. And now you're top dead center, and now you can go ahead and adjust the valves, people. Of course, we're gonna show you how to adjust the valves, people, in case somebody's like, wait, I thought you were gonna show me. Now watch this. Yeah, that's a loose valve there. That's a loose valve there. But it's because we put a new valve cover, and that's where the valves are connected to. Anyways, let me go get my gauges. Let me go look up what the tolerance on this one is, and we'll be right back. Okay, guys, time to do the valves. We're gonna do the intake first. It is 006, so that's pretty simple. You're gonna need a 10mm and a flathead screwdriver. You're gonna put the 10mm right here and the flat in the middle, and you're gonna turn the 10. See, I can't do this. You're just gonna put this here, screw the 10 now. The 10 is what actually holds this screw. This screw goes in and out. You're gonna screw it in to get tighter and out to get looser. So let me loosen this up right fast. I should have brought my GoPro. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, we got them loose, as you can see. Now, that's very loose, so we can go quite a bit. So what you're gonna wanna do is take your handy dandy set. Sadly, this set, which would work a lot better because it's crooked, only goes to 8. We need a 6 and a 9. 6-9. Not 6-7, 6-9. These kids these days are ruining me. Now you're gonna take this, put it underneath the valve. If I can, it's kind of hard to do, again, with one hand. My own fault. And you just get it underneath the valve. Yep, right there. Now you're gonna tighten the screw up and keep moving this back and forth, back and forth. You gotta be under it though. And with 1-2 hands, I can get it in there right. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna keep tightening it until it tightens up. And when it's gonna have to be tight, but not like I'll show you in a second. I'll show you exactly. Give me 1 second. Let me tighten it up like it's supposed to. I just take the screwdriver and tighten it down a little bit. We're just gonna tighten it a couple times. Still loose. Some more. A little more. Now, as you can see, it goes in and out. and you can get it right out and you can shove it back in. You got to make sure it's tight, but not like stuck in there. If you have to force it out, then yeah. But yeah, that's, as you can see, 006. That one's tight. Now, in order to tighten it up, you're going to hold the screwdriver right here where you did it. Make sure you don't move it. Put it right there. And take your wrench, tighten that 10 millimeter down, and voila, that one's done. Now, the same with the front. It's a 9. I hope you can see that. And you're just going to go in and out, in and out. After you tighten it up, it should be tight and it should be good. Got just a little bit of play. Not terrible. This one might need to be tightened up some more after I run it. You got to run it sometimes, and sometimes they'll come loose just a little bit. Well, not really loose. Sometimes you might have to tighten it up just a little bit. I've had very few that I've had to do that, but there's been a couple that were like, yeah, nah, I want to loosen up a little bit. Well, guys, I think we finally got it. I've been messing with it a little longer, making sure it's right. Like I said, you put the gauge, filler gauge under it. This is a 6. Then you tighten that down to it. Most time you can tighten it down to it will not move no more. Then back it up just a little bit. It needs to be a pull out and then push it right back in. It needs to be, I like it a little tighter. Some people like a little looser. But like you can see, they're pretty good. Now this one again, it's a little more play than I want. But not terrible. That ain't bad. I like that. So this is a 9. That's a 6. I showed you how it's done. Where's my gauge at? To show you again, you just take the gauge. Oh, zoomed in for some reason. You just put it under here. It's hard to do it with one hand. Just try to get it under that. Hang on. As you can see, it can go in, it can go out, and I can shove it back in. That means it's good, and it is pretty tight. It might be a little under, but I don't care. We'll see how well it does. You can have a little less, a little more, not much less. You don't want to go tighter. If it will not move in and out like that, then you're pretty screwed. So let's put this thing back together and see if she will actually sound better, because she sounded terrible last time. Okay, we got everything down. We got the battery charger on it. We got the little cap on. Don't forget to put a cap on, or it'll probably push oil out. Moment of truth. Doesn't tick as bad as it did last time. Nope, not really. I mean, sounds pretty good to me. It got a little bit of, I think it has some piston slap. That's what it sounds like to me. We might see if we can adjust the valves a little more. But I think it sounds pretty good. Well, guys, we got everything halfway put back together. We'll go ahead and put all of this together. I think that's what she's gonna be. It does have a little tick, but I think that's normal because every video I found of these had that tick. But it's not terrible, it's just a little tick, tick, tick. Which it could be, we did put a new piston and cylinder on it. It could be piston slap because it was a generic one. Who knows? But anyways, let's put them back together right fast. Eventually. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think she sounds pretty good now. She does still have a little ticking, I feel. Like, not as loud as she was. But it's not bad at all. It sounds good if you ask me. And after going on the internet, all of them sound just like this. All the ones with high mileage. So, I think it's just normal. Of course, I've been driving Can-Ams and Yamahas lately. So, I've been driving a Honda 500 in years. This might actually just what they sound like. That's the worst thing is when you don't know exactly what they sound like beforehand, you're like, huh. But I think it's good, guys. It doesn't have much of any tick. It actually runs good. I mean, I think she is good now, people. We finally got her straight. Anyways, I guess we'll pull a go-kart in here because now we have a go-kart to walk on. I hate an effing go-kart. Got the line up, boys. Woo, look at them sexy machines. There she is. We gotta pull this thing out. Oh God, the wind is so cold. We're off to see the Wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. If you can't tell, it's really cold. I am wearing 4 different layers that you just can't see. It's like layer after layer. But we are gonna get this in here. I've already noticed one issue that might be the problem with why this doesn't start. So this is a little 1500 carbine, whatever. And the first thing I notice is the coil wires are not connected. And if they're not connected, and that might be the reason why I didn't want to walk. They rusted now, dang it. Let me put these back on. Well, I found the problem with this one. Ain't got no gas in it. And of course, we do not have any gas. So she is done for the week because I could drive to town, but it's a 15-minute drive from here, then a 15-minute drive back. The wind's blowing $1.90. It's almost 5. Holy crap, it is 5 o'clock. So, yep, that's all we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and grab my heated Coke and everything because it's going to be a cold weekend. If we have any fire calls, I want to be warm, boys. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helps somebody out. I mean, honestly, I think I'm just going to put some gas in here and clean the carb, and this go-kart should run. I know I sound a little off today, guys. My sinuses are just bad today. I'm telling you, the dust around this shop kills me. Anyways, guys, remember to like, comment, and subscribe because we're trying to get subscriptions up to 20, and I will see you on the next one.